right. So, my question to you that I would like for you to respond in the chat or raise your hand to answer is, why are fish born knowing how to swim, but humans learn how to swim? So, why are fish born knowing how to swim, but humans learn how to swim? We're both living things, so why is one of us born with the ability and the other one has to learn it? Comment in the chat or raise your hand if you'd like to share your answer. Noah, what do you think? I should have known you were going to be the first one to raise your hand.
I think that why fish are born knowing how to swim and humans have to learn how to swim, because their parents, like the fish's parents, they already know how to swim. Like, they were babies once and they already know how to swim. So then their kids know how to swim, and then those kids know how to swim, and then it keeps going down the line. And then humans, their parents had to learn how to swim, and humans and fish's DNA are different. So when humans have to go and learn how to swim, it's because their parents had to learn how to swim.
Okay, excellent. I loved hearing all of those science terms that you were using in there. Parents and DNA and inherited and born with. Let's see, in the chat, some of your classmates are saying they're born with the instinct to know how to swim because fish were born in the ocean or another body of water, lake, river, stream, okay? Because they're living settings, so where they were born or where they live, again, because they were born in the ocean. And, ooh, I love this response because the student, just like Noah did, is using those science terms that we've talked about. Because fish inherited how to swim and humans trying to swim is an experience trait or a learned behavior or an acquired trait. Excellent job. Another student said is because they were born with gills and fins. Excellent. We were born with legs and feet. So, of course, that's not tailored to swimming. We can learn how to swim, but fins are definitely made for that. So, again, like Noah was saying, fish have different DNA that was passed down to them from their parents. Excellent job. And it was also an inherited trait instead of an acquired trait, which Reagan said that earlier. Excellent. Oh, so these passages, you're going to have your choice of 4 different passages that you can choose from to read about a learned behavior. You only have to do one, and we're going to talk about this at the end of class. You only have to choose one, and you can choose whichever one seems most interesting to you. Okay, of course, this was going to be group work, but since we're not in the room, we can't pair up with which ones are most interesting to us and read and share out. So each of you are going to complete a learned behavior passage of your choice today for your science assignment. But before I send you on your way to do that, and you guys are going to share out tomorrow what you learned about your learned behavior. You'll share out at the beginning of science class. So it'll kind of be the same, but it's going to kind of be different just because you're not going to have a group to bounce ideas off of. But I promise it'll all work out. All right, so now we're going to take some notes. So it's time for you to find your genetics student notebook in the Google Drive. And if you all remember, I did say that we were going to have tests at the end of the week, and you will be turning in these notebooks for a grade. So please make sure that you have this notebook. Jacarius, we created this notebook the last day that we were in class, but if for some reason you can't find it, here it is linked in the chat for you to make a new copy. But I do need you to go back and look at the recorded Zoom sessions so that you can make up the other slides that are missing, because we're working on slide 9 today. Okay, so we're going to work on slide 9 as a class. And we will be discussing these review questions before I send you on your way to take your test tomorrow. So if you want to go ahead and work on these at some point later on today, you're welcome to do that, or you can work on them tomorrow as we are discussing them as a class. But today you're going to be completing your instinct versus learned behaviors. And another student this morning said that they were born with the instinct to swim. So that was Samantha. She said they were born with the instinct to swim. So she's already a step ahead, already using that nice new vocabulary of instinct. So the only thing that you guys are going to be typing today is the definition for instinct and the definition for learned traits. And then you're going to be dragging and dropping behaviors under their correct category for the rest of them. All right, so I'm going to go back to my teaching slides now that I've showed you what yours look like. Is there anybody who's having trouble finding theirs, or you're not ready? You might need another minute. Anybody? If you would like to split screen, that would probably be most helpful. I will be typing the definitions in the chat so that you can copy and paste them. Before you click on the link, if you're messaging me that you can't find yours, please in slides or drive, type in genetics, because this is your student genetics notebook. So if you type in genetics and it's in your drive, it should pop up. But if it don't, click the link that I have sent you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with instinct versus learned behaviors or traits. So inherited behaviors are behaviors organisms are born knowing. Okay, and learned behaviors are behaviors that are learned after birth. So we have to learn how to swim, but fish inherit the behavior or the knowledge and ability to swim from their parents. It is an instinct that they inherit. So after you have done that, what I would like for you to do is to drag and drop the different behaviors to the correct column. For instance, crying. Do you have to be taught how to cry, or are you born knowing how to cry? You're born knowing how to cry, so that would go under inherited. And give me a done in the chat when you're finished, or a thumbs up, or something like that, so I know. Oh, I was talking to you guys. You couldn't hear me. Tyon, would you like to share your screen and show us how you sorted your instinct versus learned behaviors? You can respond in the chat with a yes or no. And I'm going in the order in which you guys said that you were finished. So, Reagan, would you like to share? Okay, so I'm going to make you a co-host so you can share your screen. I'm going to stop sharing mine. And you can take it away. All right, so Reagan has breathing, crying, bears hibernating during the winter months, and birds migrating south for the winter are all instinct. And learned behaviors are walking, talking, bright colored animals are usually poisonous, and lion cub learning to hunt by watching mom hunt. Do you agree or disagree with Reagan's sort and why? Ansley, do you agree or disagree and why?
I disagree with one of her stuff. What was bright color animals are usually poisonous. They actually usually inherit that from their parents. Because they can't just learn how to be poisonous or learn how to be bright colored and poisonous.
Okay, but I think this is the knowledge that bright colored animals are usually poisonous. So not the color that they inherit, but the knowledge that bright colored animals are usually poisonous. So that would stay on the learned behavior side just because that is probably something that animals learn throughout their lives. Kind of like you guys might learn that someone walking into a building with a gun and a mask on may be dangerous and trying to rob the place. That's something that we learn, something that we look for. Same thing for animals. That they look for animals that are bright colored to indicate that they are poisonous. So that would definitely be something that they learned. So I agree with how Reagan has that one sorted there. But thank you, Ansley, because I now see how that could have been misinterpreted, that they were born with a bright color, and if it were to mean that, then you would have been correct, because we can't change what color we're born with. But when we're talking about instinct or learned behaviors, knowing that bright colored animals are usually poisonous, that would be something that we learn throughout our lives. Jacarius, do you agree or disagree with how Reagan has these behaviors sorted?
Agree.
Okay. What is one that you can explain why you agree? Give me some evidence. Why do you agree with Reagan?
Yeah.
Why do you agree?
I was thinking of something. I'm trying to think what we're trying to do because I haven't been here yet.
Okay, so again, just remember the instinct are behaviors that we are born knowing. So nobody has to teach us how to do them. We just automatically know how to do it. Learned behaviors are behaviors that we have to learn after birth. We don't know them as babies, but throughout our lives, we learn these things. So why might you agree with one of these that Reagan has listed here?
Crying, because when we're a baby, I guess we all cry when I guess you don't get what you want.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly right. So we're born knowing how to cry. Nobody had to teach us. As soon as you're born, first time you ever breathe a breath in the new world, you know how to cry. That's actually one of the signs that doctors look for, is a crying baby, to know that they're healthy. If a baby's born not crying, they begin to worry. That's instinctual. That's something that they're born knowing how to do. All right. Excellent. And Noah, would you like to explain to me why you agree? I see it in the chat that you agree. Why do you agree with Reagan?
I agree with the lion cub because lion cubs don't just get born and know how to hunt or do anything. And in that sentence, it literally says the lion cub learning how to hunt.
Excellent. I love how you looked for those keywords there and pulled out that it was learning how to hunt. So we obviously know that that would be a learned behavior. Excellent job. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share with you what your assignment is today in Echo, what I expect from you, and then I'm going to send you on your way to get the assignment complete. If you want to answer those 3 questions to prepare you for our discussion tomorrow, please feel free to do that. That would be fantastical. All right. So right now everybody's attending the live Zoom session. Thank you very much. And you're going to click on your assignment, Thursday Learned Behaviors passage, and it says today you will be learning more about learned behaviors. I want you to choose one of the passages below to read and answer questions on. When finished, upload a screenshot or the Google file of your completed passage and questions. So for example, if you clicked on migration, it would prompt you to make a copy of migration. So if you want to learn more about how birds migrate, how they automatically know how to do that, why it's a learned behavior, you'll click on that. You've got just 4 paragraphs to read up top, and you have only 2 questions to answer. Super simple, very basic activity for you today is to learn what is migration and how did birds learn to migrate. All of your passages are set up the same way. It is a short passage up top and 2 questions below. Just make sure that you read and you've got a good understanding because, like I said, at the beginning of class tomorrow, we're going to discuss these. So whatever assignment you submit to me today, I will be putting you in groups according to the passage that you completed. All right? Anybody have any questions about your assignment? If you want to do more than one, go for it. But really, you only need to do one. Any questions? Any concerns? All right, you're free to go. Love ya. Mean it. Mwah.